Welcome to Egg Foo What? The first and only podcast about people eating stuff. I'm Mike Lisk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome once to another episode of Egg Foo. What? I'm Greg Wilson. Young Michael. Welcome back for another. What number is this? 35?
You're counting already?
Well, every week you put the number on when you post.
Well, that's just a formality that in the podcast world.
Don't act like you're Mr. Cool. Oh, you're counting? I don't count. I'm just drop in the town. A van picks me up in my hotel room. They take me to the show, and you put a number every week.
Yes, because that's a formality of the podcast world for people that they can check them off as they go through.
Yeah. But you act like, oh, I don't know. That's the talent.
Yeah. So anyway,
Mike Lisk in A Hard Day's Night.
In A Hard Day's Night.
It was a room, it was a car, it was a car, it was a room. Anyway, let me ask you something before we get started.
Yeah.
Are there some things white people just should not say? Like that white people can't pull off?
Yeah, there are some things, and in honor of that, we'll just leave it at that.
Oh no, I was just listening to another podcast. I don't know why I listened. It was it was Whitney Cummings, her podcast, and I saw Tom Papa was on. And I'm like, oh, maybe he'll talk about, because he's buddies with Seinfeld. And I thought maybe he'd talk about his show he did with him or whatever.
Yeah.
So I try to guess where in the podcast he might mention it. So I just skipped around, and of course, all you get in the 3 hours is Whitney Cummings talking. Fine, but we'd love to have her on the show. By the way, if she's listening.
Yeah, shoot for the stars.
Yeah. So, and she just casually mentions. She says, "My parents crossed over recently."
Okay.
Crossed over.
Yeah.
And then they just kept talking like that's just. I'm like, I've never heard a white person say that.
What does that mean? I don't even know what that means.
It means they died.
Oh.
They died. Because when when a black person dies and somebody writes about it or tweets, so it's always, not always, but like our grandmother Gracie, and it's always some beautiful, transitioned, went on to the other side or something. And when in that case, I'm always super moved. I'm like, wow, that's beautiful. Like, oh, geez. When a white person does it, it's like, oh, fuck that. What do you cross?
See, I'm not familiar with that phrase at all. I don't know anybody who uses that one. I mean, I know people always like to sugarcoat stuff, right?
Right.
They passed.
Past is
the go-to.
The fuck out of me as it is. Every time I have a friend who does that in particular. When I hear that, I hear her voice. It drives, oh, so-and-so passed.
Right.
So passed on is bad enough.
Used to be passed away.
Passed away.
So now it's shorter.
Yeah, now it's they passed. Then you go, oh, Aunt Carol passed. And you get that look like,
yeah.
Like, passed. We can't say they died.
Right.
What happened?
No, people can't handle it. People can't handle death.
Yeah. They can't even say, yeah, you're right. They can't even say passed away anymore. It's got to be, oh, they passed.
Right.
The test. They passed. The math, they're going on to the next round.
No,
like Simon giving them going through to the next fucking level or whatever.
It's got to be.
They're dead. It's okay.
Yeah, it's got to be softened though. I mean, like people can't handle the facts anymore, and now it's.
George Carlin had a much better bit than we're hacking away at here, but about that. But it's true. It's like just say dead. Like when you say past, I just want to choke you.
Right.
But crossed over. I just
I've never heard that at all. That's why I didn't know what you were talking about.
It's like if a black woman says, "Have a blessed day." Like, wow, thanks. If a white woman.
That's not. See, I'm going to check you there. I mean, blessed is.
Check me. Oh, listen, I'm gonna check you.
But I'm saying religious folk of all stripes use the blessed.
But it's not.
I've heard that from
CVS. It's not in a. It's like CVS. You buy you whatever. Have a blessed day. Great. I feel like black women can say that, and it sounds great and perfect and right. If a white woman tries to say it, get the fuck out of here. What are you trying to? The hell out of here.
Okay.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I mean,
well, like I said, I mean, I'm with you with the part about how people cannot accept the reality of certain words, so they have to sugarcoat when somebody dies. So it's passed away, whatever. I can't keep up with. I think passed away. I don't know if it's a regional thing. Past is becoming the new standard.
Yeah. I didn't like passed away, and I really don't like past. Just passed.
Yeah.
Passed on. I don't hear as much passed. I just want to fucking ironically kill whoever said it. I want them to pass on when they say that shit.
But this is, I mean, I don't know if you saw about. I don't know his works. I mean, I saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The movie. I never read those books, but apparently those books are being cleansed.
Of
words that are too much for today's generation, let's say, and it's becoming ridiculous. I mean, who is being spared? I
mean,
the word fat can't be used anymore.
Yeah, I mean, besides the ridiculousness of that whole thing, they're starting with Ronald Dahl. Like, are kids clamoring to go get Ronald Dahl books?
Well, apparently they're popular. I didn't read them.
Like every 6-year-old in the world. Like, that's a bit of a next step book for a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, they did try to ban Dr. Seuss or whatever last year, but this is absurd. I see the headlines, but what they're trying to do with these books of his, I can't even, my head just wants to, I can't.
I'm thinking, this is like, it's for the professional class. The professional class is the class that's very sensitive about words now, right? So these are the people who would buy these books. So they the publishers know, oh, this is the audience. This is a sensitive group of people. Let's cleanse these books. They need to be cleansed. Their words are too strong for this audience.
Odd author to start with.
What's that?
It's a very odd author to start with.
Well, yeah. I mean,
besides it all being ridiculous anyway, because the irony, of course, is always like with Huck Finn, the people who are always screaming to remove the N-word are always people who love using the N-word. But yeah, the idea of banning books is insane. But now we're literally going in and rewriting these books. Well, just write your own fucking book.
Publishers now have a job. It's called a sensitivity reader. So they're actually paying people now to go through books, comb these books for the words that will make people unhappy, I guess. These words have to be stricken out of usage. I mean, it's bizarre. We're in a bizarro world, and it's just crazy. The next thing. That's all I chalk it up to. It's the next thing.
It's one thing to just ban books, because then you're just being an asshole and stupid and lazy. But now somebody's going in and changing these books. It's like, that's actual work.
Yeah.
And I assume it's legal. I assume there's some public domain thing with whatever books they get their paws on.
Well, it can be done very quickly now, Greg, with a computer. You just run a program. You do searches, search and finds. And it really isn't that time consuming.
Yeah.
They're doing it with computers. People aren't reading the books. They're just putting a bunch of words that they feel are too much for the public to stand now, and get them out of there. Get those words
like, God forbid you have a kid who's like 11 who shows enough intelligence to want to read a Ronald Dahl book.
Right.
No, can't have that. It's just like with the CRT shit. It's like, fine, you want your kid to be dumber when he goes out in the world? Good for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Less competition for me. That's where I'm at this point.
Yeah. No.
You want these kids graduating, they go in the real world and running into like, what? There was a civil what? And then they're just dumber than a post. How brilliant is that?
And now we've got the they don't even have to write papers anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a program for that.
Yeah. I can't even wrap my head around this AI stuff. I can't.
Yeah. I thought about fooling around with that, just putting in ideas to see what it is, but I'm just like not that interested, really. Apparently it writes poetry. It can write a novel. I mean, you know, maybe one day I'll get curious. I'll put some sort of plot into it, see what it comes up with.
But what's
But
the end game of all that? Like, are we
laziness.
literally just hoping to get rid of every artist in the
Yeah,
world?
the end game is everybody will just sort of never leave their house.
I'm listening.
And just don't do nothing.
I'm
Maybe
listening.
to, you know, pound a couple keyboard strokes,
Oh yes.
and that'll be your day, you know.
Oh, Mike Lisk. You are scratching me where I itch.
Yeah. But no, I have no idea where it's heading. Like I said, I have at most 20 years, and then I'm out of here. So good luck, everyone, with
Yeah.
the
I
world
feel
you're
like
creating.
I feel like
It's
I have reached that point where I can check out of anything, and I'm like, you know what? I'm too old. I don't like the whole trans stuff.
uh,
I just want everyone to be happy. That's
right. I
all.
think that's what everybody wants.
These kids want this, these kids want that. Call me Susan, call me Larry, whatever. Just everyone be happy. I'm too old to try to really wrap my head around it. I'm just gonna bounce on down the road, try not to hurt nobody, and you young people figure it out.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of am with AI. I'm like, this seems either frightening or just the thing of the day, or because I'm like, well, why would you want something that wasn't created by a human? But then it's like, well, how many times have I read something? I have no fucking idea if, you know, somebody
It's
actually wrote
laziness.
something.
The preferred state of human existence now is pure laziness.
Which I'm for. But is this just going to make people not want to do art anymore? Like, why bother? You're not going to compete against the
Yeah,
machine.
no, you know, why sweat it? You know, why sweat anything in life? You know,
Mike,
it's too much
quit selling
effort.
me, baby. You got me.
It's too
Stop
much
selling
effort.
what I'm already buying.
It's too much effort to type a sentence. Just copy and paste a plot and you're off to the races. I don't get it. But
Guess
I'm
I'm
not
going
here
with Mike
for
West.
much longer.
20 years. That's all you got to do.
Yeah,
Life
maybe.
sentence.
20 is the long, you know.
No.
I'm thinking 70s is probably a
Oh, wait, that's
good
right.
number.
You're 61. Yeah. Yeah.
When I still have my faculties. So I still have my faculties.
Am I betting on 20 years at this point? No. Nothing personal, bro.
Wait a second. You're saying you're not going to get past 70?
I'm saying you won't get
Oh,
past 20 years.
no. I mean, hey, you know,
Hey,
I
hey.
look at the news. People in their 60s.
Nobody had a nickel on me reaching 50. Let's be honest. So
People in their 60s are dropping around me left and right. Every time I talk to somebody from Bayonne, you know, somebody else has died. I knew. I mean, some aren't surprises. This poor guy, you know, he was like in his 50s. He was I think he was 54.
yeah.
Good guy, you know, and he just passed away. But he drank himself. He drank himself to death.
He passed away.
Oh yeah, I said it.
We just fucking talked about this, Mike.
Yeah, I know. Sorry, you got me.
Jesus.
See, I'm trying to soften it because I know this guy.
You're part of the problem.
And I know this guy, and I saw where this was like a 5-6 year project. You know, in Bayonne they called it "You're on a mission," and I guess it happens all over the world, where somebody just sets out and they're like, you know, life is too much. You know, they do it with drugs too, but drinking will prolong it. And he just steadily, you can just drink every day. He was drinking every day, not hard stuff, just beer. You can drink beer every day and kill yourself. It's going to take a while. And I had a conversation with him because he was getting bad. You could just see it. You know, you'd see him and like, what the hell is going on? It just got worse and worse. And I was literally in tears trying to talk this guy out of what he was doing to himself. You know, unfortunately, as a bartender, this happens a few times. I mean, another time, you know, it was a young guy, and he was just not living right, and I could see it. And I was just trying, come on, guy. This guy was in his 20s. And
Mhm.
this is a good story because actually, not that I'm taking credit for it, but I have been in touch with this person and he's doing well. He like turned it around. He was going through a bad patch. He got out of it, thank God, and he's moving on. And but
You can take a
so
little. You can take a little credit.
I think so. I mean, the fact that I
Right.
still stay in touch with him. But my other friend Jimmy, I couldn't reach him. I couldn't reach him. He
Mhm.
had bad things happening in his family life. He lost a brother. He lost his father. He was going through some heavy stuff, no doubt.
Mhm.
But lots of people go through that. I mean,
How do people
I've
afford?
gone through it.
I'm not being flippant here.
Yeah,
What did he do for a living?
yeah. Well, let's just say he got laid off. He had a good job, actually. From all accounts, he had a good job. There's a different industry in Bayonne. He worked at one of the local uh, I don't know if the chemical treatment
Is he in the
chemical
mob? Is it you're trying to
no, no,
say?
no, no, chemical plant. He worked at like
Okay.
one of the
Yeah.
remaining. There's some industry in Bayonne that is still there,
Mhm.
and he had a good job. He ended up getting fired over drinking,
Mhm.
and then that started to spiral. That's he couldn't get back. He couldn't get back on his feet. He had been at this job for many years, so he was sort of limited what sort of work he could get, and was not willing, I guess, to look into other type of work. But it was just a downward spiral from there. You know,
That sucks. I'm
yeah, no,
always
it's and the
like
thing is,
anytime I hear
I've
about
seen it.
that,
What's
someone
that?
drinking themselves to death, or like these 900-pound people you see on TV.
Hmm.
Like, how do they afford it?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
literally. Like
yeah.
I see these shows. I'm 1,400 pounds.
Mhm.
I eat, and it's like 9 Big Macs, 8 pizzas, 6 of the. And I'm like, how do you afford it?
Uh-huh.
Because they don't work. They can't work, obviously.
Right.
I always want to know, but they never tell. Oh, this is how I.
Well, in Bayonne, I never knew anybody on disability until I moved to Bayonne, and then it turns out every other person I met was on disability.
Mm.
But when you're on disability, you can also work. You have a limited amount of
Mhm.
that you can work. Um, I think they joked about this on The Sopranos. I think Janet was, I think
Oh yeah,
Janet was on disability with her hand or
that's
something.
right.
She had
That's
the
right. Of course.
what was the thing from typing? What was that called?
Uh, Fuck.
You know what I mean,
Carpal
though.
tunnel. Carpal tunnel.
Yeah, carpal
Tony, I got the carpal tunnel.
tunnel. Yeah, I mean that was a funny side to it, but it was based in reality. There are a lot of people that are on disability, and some of them are questionable at best. But
No social commentary, Mike.
yeah, we're we're just dragging things down.
Jesus.
But anyway, it's a sad part of the bar business. Which now I'm going to watch this segue, Greg.
Oh,
It's a
I know where this is going.
it's a sad part of the bar
Where
business.
everybody knows your name, Mike Lisk.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've made the plunge. I'm going to commit myself to Cheers for the first time. Never seen it.
Welcome to 1982.
I was in college at that time, so I was busy. I was not focused on serial comedy, TV comedy, sitcoms. No, I was had my head in the books,
I said, too
studying
busy at the
hard,
library. We know.
studying hard,
We know.
writing my own papers with
Yep.
you know.
Running arms to Nicaragua. We know. Different time.
Yeah.
The
So cheers,
Sandinistas.
cheers. There's only 4 seasons.
No, it's 11.
Oh, well, I'm
It's
gonna
over
have to
250
find.
episodes.
There's only 4 seasons on Hulu. I thought there was more than 4 seasons. It didn't seem right to me.
4 seasons on Hulu.
Yeah. I guess I'll have to find the other season someplace else. I'm streaming it,
Yeah.
I'm not watching it on TBS. Or I don't even know if it's on anywhere. TV Land, is it on TV Land? Me TV?
Gee, yeah, you're right. Uh, four seasons on Hulu. Huh.
Uh-huh.
That drives me nuts when they do that. Just I don't know why. Like
Yeah,
Happy Days is
actually,
always like they have 3 episodes from 2 different seasons and that's it. Like what's the
yeah.
fucking
Actually, I want to watch Faulty Towers. It turns out BritBox only has one episode from season 1, and then
what?
they have season 2.
Okay, on Peacock you can watch all 11 seasons of Cheers.
Oh, really? Okay. All right.
Yeah, and where are you watching Faulty Towers?
Faulty Towers is on BritBox, but they only have one episode from season 1 and then season 2. But guess what? I found a end around.
That's
I
weird.
still have my Netflix DVD subscription.
What?
Yeah.
Good
And
God.
so I moved the Faulty Towers season 1 to the top of my list, and I'm going to send in my DVDs, which have been lingering in my house for several
19
years.
years?
For several years. I think the
Wow.
oldest one is from 2016.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, yeah, I should end that. But anyway,
You're gonna be
onward.
very
I've watched the first 6 episodes of Cheers, and
nice. That's a nice chunk.
yeah, a nice chunk. So I'll just go down through the characters. Right now, I have to say I don't like that many of the characters. Let's start off with Norm.
Norm.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Okay.
thanks for doing that.
You're about to be the only person in America who's ever not liked Norm.
Yeah,
Okay.
here's why. He
Okay.
gets this big cheer as soon as he enters.
Mhm.
And what is the cheer for? I mean, what has he accomplished? I mean, in the second episode, he's sleeping on the bar. That to me is like one of the lower echelons of bar patrons is the sleeper. You
Mhm.
can't sleep in the bar, people. Please do not sleep in the bar. It's not good
Well,
for anyone. It's not good for you because
I-
the goal of going to the bar is getting home from the bar. And if you can't get home from the bar without falling asleep, you're doing it wrong. So maybe you should stop drinking.
okay. The first note from Mike on to the producers of Cheers, Norm, maybe not so much with the drinking.
No, not so
weird.
much with the drinking, but I mean, why is he a revered figure? I'd like to know why he's revered
Well,
before.
because in this small subset of humans, this bar, obviously, these people are not winners.
They look like winners. Half the people are in suits. That
Maybe
is one
you're
of the
not a winner.
more upscale bars I've ever seen.
Well, yeah, because it's the early 80s and it's TV, so you kind of have to dress up a little bit. And the presumption is he's coming home from his work as an accountant.
Right. No,
I
I had patrons like that. Yes.
that's what's so great about it. Yeah, he is a loser and he's kind of a nobody, but in this world, he's somebody that they like to see when he walks in the door. He probably goes home to Vera. She doesn't want to hear shit. She's probably yelling at him. He's this 8 hours of work. Peterson, you're an idiot. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Probably makes no money. Comes to this bar and he gets a warm welcome. Even though, yeah, he's not, an underwear model between Super Bowls. And he gets a warm welcome from his friends. I think we should all be so lucky.
No, the whole concept of a regular at a bar, I understand it's a real thing, but I've never seen anybody get a royal cheer, like the way he gets when he enters the bar. There's a couple people say hello, hey, how's it going? That's how it goes. It's not a cheer, and that bar is.
You don't think that ever happens at any bar anywhere in the world?
No, I'm saying it happens, but
Yeah.
not from like a parent. Here's the thing that a real contrivance of the show that is weird to me is that it's a big bar, right? So there's tables all away from the bar. And those people should just be background characters, right? But they're always like tuned into whatever conversation is going on with people at the bar. like is everybody on mic? So like the guy over in the corner can hear what Norm's saying on the other side of the room. So
Well,
like they're all like ready to react to something he says or not. It's like sometimes they just background, right? And then sometimes, yeah, they're like listen, everybody's listening in and reacting to what somebody says, you know. So it's like a little play going on in front of them, and they're like the audience, you know, and they're
well,
all tuned in to whatever Sam is saying, whatever Diane is saying, you
that
know.
that may be either they're shitty actors or we're supposed to assume that whatever somebody's saying is like captivating. But I mean, I don't know about you, but like I can barely remember, if at all, the time when you could go into a bar and sit down and just chat and it's quiet. And if you want to shout across the room, "Hey, Tony, how you doing?" You can't do that. We're so used to you go to the bar, and if you're sitting next to someone, you have to scream your face off to talk.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world we don't even recognize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the bar. That's like I'm so jealous of bars like that. The
Well, you went
Lobo
to you
on
you. I took
Roseanne,
you to
where you
Mass's
walk in,
Tavern,
it's
right?
quiet,
Mm-hmm.
you can chat. You know, every British show has a local pub, like the Nag's Head and Only Fools and
Uh-huh.
Horses, which we'll talk about because you're on my shit
Mm-hmm.
list. You go in, how's everybody doing? And it's quiet, you can talk. So, plus, that was back before cell phones, when to get any news or gossip or anything, you had to go and talk to people or overhear things. Mm-hmm. Now we all just want to put on our headphones to be in our own world. I don't want to hear your shit. You don't want to hear my shit. So the defense.
Yeah, no, that's true.
We
Everybody's
can
got their
agree to
phone out.
agree that you're wrong about Norm.
Yeah.
In this world, he is somebody just because he's funny. He's always there. He's warm. He's nice when pressed. And to be honest, other than Sam, he's probably the coolest.
Okay. Well,
Which is
now,
more of a
now
mark on
Norm
how-
is married, right?
Yes.
And in I think it's episode 2 or 3, he literally flips out when he sees a pair of nice legs walk by the bar.
I will say, I know
Remember that
exactly the
episode?
episode you're talking about. I know what girl you're talking about.
Angela Ames.
Huh?
Angela Ames is the name of the actress.
That is a little out of character, but that was only like the second episode, so they were kind of working it out. But
see, that soured me. That soured me right off the bat because
an adult male would go gaga over some.
Oh no, I agree, it happens. All these things that happens. I mean, I saw it at Mass's Tavern. I took you to Mass's. You remember how small it is? It's about a quarter size of that bar, right?
If that, yeah.
Yeah, it's tiny.
And that should be your real. My bone of contention with Cheers has always been like, why is Sam's office the biggest office in the world? Like,
yeah, it's pretty big. Yeah,
I don't understand, but
yeah.
Why is Fonzie's office in the bathroom, and why is Sam's office like the size of the Pentagon? The 80s had a 70s and 80s had a problem with offices for these people, but
the layout of that bar is weird to me because
the bar is too big.
It's got a restaurant above it.
Yeah,
that's been established in the last episode I saw, because I wondered, like, these tables, where's the food? You know, because you got tables, you should probably have food, but apparently the tables in the bar area are just for drinks, and I guess you have to go upstairs for the food.
Yeah, a lot of it is people are waiting for their reservations or yeah, that idea of walking in and having a seat and a waitress comes out and serves you a drink at a small table is kind of foreign at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, at my local place, it does happen. There are like tables surrounding the bar, and when there's a crowd, I'm forced to sit at these tables.
Yeah.
But I don't make a waitress wait on me. I'll go to the bar and get my drink.
Still have to go to the bar.
But I mean, if you're a couple and trying to just, you could be waited on just for drinks. So, I mean, that's not so bad. But the other thing that's odd is the pool table room.
Yeah.
Way in the back.
Which is the second biggest room in the history of the world. With like 40-foot ceilings.
Yeah, it's enormous. Right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing that a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people realize with a pool table in a bar. It's a troublemaker. A pool table in a bar is a troublemaker.
Troublemaker.
So you have to be able to see what's going on at all
Yeah.
times. I mean, having it in a back room where nobody can see what's going on, to me, is just like asking for trouble.
Let me say this. We can agree to agree that you're wrong about Norm, and I straighten you out. But I will agree the layout is a bit. I mean, it has to be what it is because it's on TV. But
Right.
the layout of the bar is a little bit eye rolly. You're right. You're not wrong. We can agree that
Okay.
you're not 100% wrong on that.
Is this the first time you ever agreed with anything I said on this show?
I can't say I agree with that, Mike. Let me tell you why. I think you're wrong.
But so anyway, I mean, I'll give you an example. For a little while,
Hey, we
Mass's
just
Tavern.
agreed. The layout's crazy. We just agreed.
Yeah. No,
When you get the
I want
answer
to.
you want,
I want to
hang up
give
the
you.
phone.
I want to give you an example of what can go wrong with a pool table with out of sight of the bartender.
When you say pool table, I hear trouble.
Yeah. So they brought in a pool table at Mass's, not while I was working there. This was years ago.
Right.
And they put it down in the basement. Now you saw the bar is on the ground level.
Yeah.
And you have to go down a few steps to get to this pool table.
That's asking for double trouble.
Yeah. Well, next thing you know, people are down there, and of course, laziness kicks in, and next thing you know, people are pissing into the floor drains.
Yeah.
Rather than come up and use the men's room.
I was going to say empty bottles, but that's even better.
Reminds you of home, right? Back in Brooklyn.
Reminds me of 100 Metro.
So anyway, there's Norm. I've got problems with Norm. Can he redeem himself going forward? Yeah,
yes,
I'll give people a break. I'll give him a chance
that at some point, soon enough, you'll love Norm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Carla.
I will say that I know exactly that scene. It is a little bit over the top for him, so that's fine.
Yeah. Carla.
Okay.
Where do you stand?
Carla's necessary. You have to have that savvy veteran waitress who's just about seen and heard it all. She's had it with your shit. You instantly know, give your drink order, thank you, and that's it. You kind of need that in a bar like that. That established, savvy veteran. It helps that she's a lunatic, excuse me, local sports fan. Yeah, Carla's very necessary at this bar.
Yeah, she serves her purpose. She's the friction for Diane, right? She's the gritty street person, and Diane is the overly educated, refined person, right?
Correct.
So you got your tension between those two right off the bat, which I get it, but the character is so over the top. I mean, she's jumping on a guy's back.
Yeah.
In one episode because he insulted Sam.
Called him Maybe Malone.
Maybe Malone, yeah.
Instead of Mayday.
So she jumps on the guy. Actually, that character, the obnoxious Yankees fan.
Oh, that's the one you like.
Well, no, he is probably. I mean, he looks like a guy who used to come into Mass's Tavern. So I'm like, okay, you're like. All right, now I feel a little bit at home here.
You're like a guy who watches Teen Wolf and it's like, well, let's see some of the other athletes. Let's give some of the other players some time.
So anyway, yeah, Carla, yeah, I get her purpose in the show, but it's just so far over the top. She was threatened to be fired, which I'm like, oh, a little late with the threatening to be fired routine.
She can be a little over the top, but that's kind of her character. And if somebody was to pick out the 1,000 best lines, she would have a good chunk of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm still waiting.
Not funny.
Okay. So apparently then you got.
Apparently, you're trying to though.
All right, now let's go to Coach. Give me your thoughts on Coach.
Well, he passed on.
Well, yeah, no, I was gonna ask you about.
I would love to hear somebody talk about what they don't love about Coach.
All right, here it comes.
You don't love Coach.
Here it comes.
Oh my God. I'm going to keep talking to keep putting this off. What seems to be the inevitable. I'm trying to save this country from hearing somebody talk shit about Coach.
Let me just say this.
I'm filibustering. Filibuster? Did I say filibuster? Filibuster.
No, I'm all for the
Filibuster.
seasoned,
I'm
older bartender.
filibustering with the word filibuster.
I'm all for the seasoned, older bartender. We had great ones at Masses. And
But hold on now. Hold on. It's never portrayed like he's a seasoned, old, great bartender.
well, all right, that's the
cocktail
point I'm
flipping-
going to get to.
He's not Tom Cruise flipping drinks and singing Love Shack or whatever,
But I think we can both agree the character, not the person,
Mhm.
the character is portrayed as a dummy.
Yes.
So why is he behind the bar? I mean, why would you want a dummy behind the bar? You got
Do
to
you
be.
need me to say what everybody else is screaming at their radios right now?
Why do you want a dummy behind the bar? He's not even good with money.
You're behind the bar.
Harry Anderson almost got $20 out of him for $10.
I don't want to be insulting. Do you have to be a rocket scientist to do that job?
No, but you have to know, like, when somebody's coming in and is gonna like do little money games with you,
right?
And you can't figure it out.
Well, I will say this: Harry the Hat is one of the world's formidable magician slash scam artists. So yes, if once every 3 years Coach loses $20 to the Michael Jordan of hucksters, okay. Every other transaction, he's fine with. He's not constantly giving away drinks, losing money. Yes. The world's most formidable magician slash scam artist slash night judge comes in and takes $20 off him. Come on.
He's got a name
in
for
your
every
whole career.
He's got a name for every glass in the bar. Come on.
As in your bartender career, if you look back, there's no time anybody ever snakes you out of $20.
No.
You're too smart.
Well, here's the thing. When I'm behind the bar, I wouldn't even take a drink.
Oh.
Because I didn't want to do something stupid with money.
Well, Coach doesn't drink.
No, he doesn't drink. He's just dumb.
Right.
And
but
now, did you hint
other than Harry the Hat, he seems to do an okay job on the bar. I mean,
but he's got a name for every glass in the bar.
Every glass in the bar? What do you mean?
Yeah. In one of the episodes, he put up a couple drinks for Diane, or no, maybe it was Carla, and she said, which drink is which? And he said, the vodka and orange juice is in Lady, the other one's in Barbara. Like he had names for the glasses. Which,
that is news to me. I've never heard any talk about Coach naming glasses.
Yeah.
And that would infer that the people serving would have to also know the names.
Right.
So that I would have to say they are as dumb as Coach for going along with this.
No, she didn't know it. She didn't know it. That's how she discovered it. So she was included. She was included in. She had to draw it out of him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that one. Well, if he's smart enough to name glasses, remember which glass is who. I mean, I don't know. Old people, they always tell old people to keep their minds active. Maybe that's what he's doing.
Now,
I mean, I cannot believe. I hope future aliens, thousands of years from now, don't come down and the one thing to dig up is this, and they hear you shitting on Coach.
Did you get further away from your mic? You seem like you're a little lower.
That? Well, I'm trying not to scream at you.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're better. But all right. So you hinted at something. I mean, is this going to be another character who's going to pass away? Oh, there I go again. Before the show ends.
I mean, it's no spoiler. Yes, he dies.
Yeah, I can handle spoilers.
Yeah.
And
the real actor Nick Colasanto died. So yeah, that's how Woody Harrelson came on board.
Okay. Which is what I assumed, because my one sort of dabbling at looking at that show was when Woody Harrelson was on the show. And I remember my reaction being, this may be the dumbest character I've ever seen on TV, which is saying a lot, right? All the dumb characters you've seen on TV. I mean, so when Woody Harrelson comes on, he fills in and he's even dumber than Coach. Is that a fair assessment of
I
what
wouldn't say
happens?
that.
He's dumb though, right?
So you
Woody
just don't
Harrelson.
like you just don't like dumb characters.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's like really, and Woody Harrelson is a dumb character, right?
Yeah, he's dopey. He's like a farm boy, fish out of water.
Uh-huh.
But he every once in a while he will do or say something that like flips that, and it's like, shit, is he some sort of evil genius?
Uh-huh.
So
Okay.
yeah, I guess you just don't like characters who aren't super smart.
But I'll say this for Coach. One of the episodes I said I think was honestly touching was because my heart isn't made of stone yet. I mean, it's more like wet cement right now.
Mhm.
But the episode with his daughter,
Yes,
who's like the ugly duckling, and she's
it's
not
what.
that ugly. That's the thing. She's not that ugly, you know.
Well,
But she's being presented as the ugly duckling,
yeah,
and she's with this cad, a jerk, and Coach has to intervene, and it's a touching moment, right? All right. So
yeah.
I'll say that was honestly touching, wasn't contrived in any way, like a lot of this stuff is. So
That's an amazing early episode. Like, can you imagine having your daughter think she's ugly? That's got to be.
mhm. Yeah, no, it was
And my parents
pretty.
had to deal with the opposite. How are we going to handle this handsome motherfucker? He's too good looking. He's going to get away from us. He's too good
Uh-huh.
looking.
Okay.
But
Yeah, it could go either way, I guess,
either
but
way, and
it was.
she was in Moonlighting. She's Miss what's her name? DeFazio on that show. DePesto.
Yeah, I knew she looked familiar. I didn't look her up. Unfortunately, I did look up Angela Ames, who I alluded to earlier. Do you know what happened to her?
Did you sleep with her?
No.
Michaelis, did you have sex with her?
No.
No.
She caught my eye on that show. She's a very pretty woman.
Woo!
So I was like, what? I wonder what she appeared in otherwise. So I did the old wiki search, and sure enough, she died tragically.
She passed on?
She passed on.
She
32
carried
years
over?
old. 32.
What happened?
She had some sort of heart virus. Yeah, something bizarre.
Jesus.
Yeah. And
Well,
she was, starting to
you go
appear in movies, different things.
you go from popping up on at Cheers and flipping Sammy's wig to dead. Ugh.
Yeah. So yeah, you never know what trajectory some of these actors take, but that was a sad one.
Mhm.
All right, now we get to
When I go back to rewatch that, I would have found that out because I have a bad habit of Wikipediaing every actor I see in every show, wondering if they're dead.
well,
Every time I have to go look
that was
who in the scene is dead. I need to know.
I have a curiosity to see where their career went from there, but yeah, then you stumble upon some tragic stories, and this was one of them.
Yeah, I'm either shit. What did I see this person in, or are they dead?
Yeah. So I mean, the show is already establishing that there's going to be these guest stars, and I'm sure I'm going to see some familiar faces. I've already seen a few. Julia Duffy showed up as Diane's roommate from Sarah Lawrence.
I liked her. She was easy on the peepers.
Yeah, but they had her looking like a mousy bookworm.
That's okay. You should like that. You don't like dummies. You only like smart people.
But yeah, and plus, now we get to Sam and Diane, and it's just, I mean, how long? I mean, I get it. They're gonna. I mean, it's a standard thing, a plot line in a show to have these characters circle each other before they get into a relationship. How long do they keep that going? Several seasons. I mean,
no, it's not too long. It's probably the perfect time. Not too long, not too short.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna torture me with this forever.
No, it's not gonna go on long enough for you to go. Okay, who gives a shit? Like
yeah.
Pam and Jim. Like who cares?
Okay.
It's within a normal amount of time or whatnot. So.
And as noted on Twitter, I've become fixated on Ted Danson's hair
Yeah.
because something's just off there, you know.
Well, it
Sometimes,
looks magnificent. I think that's just the times where those dude's hair just looked like a helmet.
yeah, no, I'm familiar with the helmet hair. One of my friends had like hair like that. He could jump into a wave at the beach and
Mhm.
come up, and his hair didn't even move.
Mhm.
You know, I'm aware of like the helmet hair, but he's got like something going on there that's off. The coloration is off sometimes. Sometimes you can almost see a seam along the side of his head.
Well, I'd
It's
like to
it's
put our efforts with the ladies up against Sammy Mayday Malone's efforts with the ladies, and let's see who cares about his hair or not. I have a feeling.
he's a character, Greg.
I have a
We're like real people.
feeling. I have a feeling. You could tell women it's a wig, and they wouldn't care.
Uh-huh. No, I think we're reaching a stage where the generation of wig wearers are dying out, and I give credit, all due credit to Vin Diesel.
Wait, are we saying it's actually a wig?
Yeah, it's established it's a wig. You didn't know that?
No.
He's got a piece on there. It's not all his hair.
By established, do you mean somebody with authority told you this, or you just looked at it?
You can Google it.
Okay, well,
Yeah, let you find out for yourself. Do the research. Get back to me next week.
okay, with
But
a signed affidavit.
It's been established. Wait a second. Wait, you should know this because
Wait a minute. Ted Danson's a great-looking man we've seen for 45 years.
Yeah.
Are we sure that's a wig? I mean,
Now, Greg, you claim to have seen the entire Cheers run.
yeah.
Apparently, in a very late episode, he reveals it.
Yes, the character.
Yeah, well,
As
that
a
was
joke-
his head. That
As
was
a
his
joke,
head.
as a joke, they
He
pull
didn't
off.
take he didn't take a fake wig off to show a fake bald spot.
Yes, it's a bald. It's like an SNL when they have bald people. It's a bald cap or something. That
No.
wasn't his real hair.
No, that was it.
No,
That was a legitimate reveal of
Ted Danson is going to spend an entire decade pretending that's his hair, and then at the end of the game, say, "Ah, fuck it," and then it's.
Yeah.
I don't
Do the
think it's a wig.
research. Don't
Do the
take my
research.
word. Don't take my word.
Do the research.
Do the research.
Look it up on Wikipedia.
There you wiki it.
All right. I mean, I've never seen him outside as a normal Ted Danson with anything but great looking hair.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna push back. Call BS on that. I think it's his real hair.
It's part of his shtick. It's part of his shtick now.
I can say it's 1982 hair,
Mhm.
which isn't. It's like, ugh. But it is what it is. I think it's his real hair. Yeah.
I find your defense of Ted Danson's hair to be very endearing.
It's fucking beautiful. How about that? If Ted Danson, if you're listening, would love to have you on Egg Food What to talk
It's
about
going to be real tough
wig.
when you discover the reality. I'm sorry.
As somebody who loves saying wig, like keep your wig on, don't flip your wig. You know, something about saying the word wig with dudes is just hysterical.
Yeah.
I'm taking a stand. I don't think that's a wig.
Okay. We'll have a
And I assume
follow up next
that's
week.
your only beef with the beloved Sammy Mayday Malone.
Yeah, no, that character, I guess, is probably the best character.
I got to be honest. Now, over the course of 11 seasons, you will note super late in the game, they do make him a little dumber. Like he's a little more clueless than he should be, but that's super late.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're really playing up in these early episodes that he's like a ladies' man.
Well, that doesn't go away.
that he's this lady, but well, yeah, you saw him with one lady so far. You know, it's all spinning around him.
Mhm.
I think there's one episode when he's actually with his ex-wife, I guess.
Are you going to need to see visual proof of him being a ladies' man? Is that what we're saying?
No, but
you're not going to believe it unless you see that.
It gets tiring after a while, right? The ladies' man, they play him up. He's the ladies' man, but to Diane, he's also kind of a dummy.
I don't know what it is. There's something about Sammy that makes you root him on. Like you just want him to go through every woman. I don't know what it is. Why I'm rooting so hard for some dude who does great with the ladies to do great with like what do I care? Like that's just makes it worse.
Yeah,
for
I
me.
was just going to say this is going on inside of you, Greg. This isn't
Yeah, it's
has
like
nothing to do with the show.
One of the happiest moments of watching any movie is in Love Actually. When the
Never
guy
seen
goes,
it.
oh god damn it, of course. Anyway, I'll say this for our audience. It's when that guy flies to Milwaukee and he goes to that little bar and he ends up with like 4 smoking crazy hot women. Like for some reason, I just like stood up and cheered. Like I've never cheered a dude on to do so well with other girls as I did with him. For some reason with Sammy, you don't resent it, you know, maybe because it's not a real person. But yeah. I forget, I had another super brilliant point, but I got sidetracked by that one. So
super brilliant, or
yeah.
was it? I thought you said stupid brilliant.
No, it was going to be brilliant.
Which is an interesting concept.
It's going to be super brilliant, but unfortunately, I can't remember what it was.
Anyway, I'm going to continue. Diane is just ridiculous with her artistic flair, and you know, of course, you must have been in love with her in the first episode when she mentions Proust.
I love that.
So you were hooked from the get go.
I got to be. I'm going to be a bit of a pig here, Michaelis. I've never been into Diane.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, when I was a younger man, sometimes I'd be like, "When is Sammy getting all hung up on her for? She's not seeing Sammy with hotter women." Now I realize that's just me being a disgusting pig. Yeah, I like the Proust reference, but yeah, she's kind of ridiculous, but a lot of it revolves around her. So
reading Carl Jung at the bar. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Anybody who breaks out a book in the bar, I sort of instantly despise.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. That is such a pretentious move.
I was just thinking today, I know I blogged it. I can't remember where somebody tweeted. I'm not going to get it perfectly right, but the idea is he's like, sitting in the airport. I saw some guy pull out a book, open it, read like the first 2 pages, close the book, stand up, sigh, and just walked over to the trash can and dropped the book in it and walked away. I was like, that is so great. Like, just the look on this guy's face must have been, to just walk up and dump a book in the trash.
Yeah.
I was like, wow.
Well, some books deserve it, you know. I remember I would purposely, you know, force myself to read books that were becoming these sort of larger than life. You know, I guess it was the beginning of the Oprah, since, you know, when she started plugging books. And then these books would just become these phenomenons, right? I mean, it's like, you know, when a book reaches that level of popularity, it's just like, I'm curious to see like what's going on with this book, you know, just to see like what's going on in popular culture. So I read some bad books.
I read The Bridges of Madison County.
Oh,
I know what you're saying.
All right. Well, I did too. That was exactly where I was going.
Yep.
And I read it and I thought this was like the junkiest thing, you know,
ever.
And I was like, people love this. I mean, it was so bad.
I was baffled.
Yeah. I even forced myself. I didn't finish it. It's much longer. I even picked up 50 Shades of Grey.
Oh God.
And you know, I went far enough.
We're gonna have to put a PG-13 rating on this episode.
I went far enough in that to know, oh man, this is more just pure schlock. And I'm like, what? Yeah, this is what people love. This is what they want to wallow in. It's disappointing when you read some of those books. I mean, the one book that I kind of was becoming a phenomenon, and I kind of enjoyed. I mean, it's a true crime thing. It's the Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Oh God, I walked out of that movie. I didn't read the book, but the movie, I couldn't stand that movie. I walked out of it. It's one of the few movies I've ever walked out of.
I don't think I've ever seen the movie. I think I saw a little bit. It's long, right? It's really a long movie.
Not for me.
No.
Very
you
short.
went to the abbreviated showing.
Like Dunkirk, 15, 20 minutes. No problem. Very, very, very brief.
Yeah. But actually, the book is kind of interesting.
Who wrote the book? I don't even know.
I can't think of his name, but you know, the book was huge. I think it was another Oprah book.
Yeah.
And but it's, it gives you I've never been to Savannah, Georgia. Maybe you know a little bit about it more than I do, but it just sort of paints an interesting picture of Savannah, Georgia. All these characters. The book I can recommend. It was worthwhile. But yeah, I don't know about the movie. Is Clint Eastwood behind that movie? Did he direct that?
I don't know, but I know he did direct the Bridges of Madison County movie.
Yeah.
So
I think he may be involved in that movie, but I never saw the movie. I felt like I read the book. The movie I figured would be just disappointing. So I didn't bother with it.
Then I saw another tweet today where a guy was like, "Oh my God, I'm sitting next to the train, and the person next to me is reading my book."
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Should I say something?" And he did, and it was nice. What if I'm sitting there and I saw somebody reading one of my books, and they open it right as I'm about to say, "Hey, it's me," they just close it, sigh, stand up, walk over to the trash can, and dump it in the trash can right in front of me. That would be something.
Is this another private fantasy?
Well, it would be a fantasy to see that somebody at Barton was reading my book, yes. But to watch them read 2 pages, then literally just stand up and walk over and dump it into a trash can, that would be interesting. Yet soul crushing. Yet I probably wouldn't stop talking about it for like 6 years. So I just brought those 2 instances together. Did you see how I did that? 2 tweets.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
And I brought them together perfectly, like a swan folded cloth napkin at a fancy restaurant.
So we might as well just.
That's a t-shirt.
Move on from there. This week's dish. This week's dish.
And Cheers?
What's that?
Is it for Cheers?
There's more. I mean, I could talk about Cliff. Cliff doesn't seem to be well developed yet.
Cliff in the first couple is kind of just hanging around, yeah. But he comes on, yeah. You'll probably hate him too. Don't worry.
and
I will say, well, actually, I'm wrong. He's probably the most Jersey of everybody. Which sounds like an insult, and it actually is. But I say that with affection to all my Jersey peeps.
Yeah, he's only had a couple quips, and in one episode, he starts off with one of the biggest cliches, which should be retired, where somebody's playing checkers, and then they like wipe out the entire opposition in one move. Right? They just go from one checker and take off about 6 checkers at once. How many times have we seen that?
Never.
It's everything, man. It's in everything. Every time you see somebody playing checkers, one of the players at some point is going to make a move, and he's going to take out his all of his opponent's checkers on the table in one move.
All right.
It's a cliche, man.
I will counter that with a similar trope is if on screen 2 people in wheelchairs are yelling at each other, the odds are that within the next 30 seconds, both of their wheelchairs will be toppled over.
Okay.
So I get what you're saying.
No, that I think I've seen that, but it's interesting that you go to that. That's one of your standards that you think about, and you're tired of seeing that. I would be tired of seeing that. Yeah.
I love watching people in wheelchairs fight to the death.
Oh, okay. What about grannies doing hip hop dances and stuff or rapping?
Well, I don't need to see grannies doing nothing, to be honest.
Okay.
Not into that.
Right.
Now you'll like Cliff. And as a bonus, the actor John Ratzenberger invented that character himself. So that's a nice story. But I would say tell you this before we leave Cheers. I will tell you this: you've watched 6 episodes. I'm gonna catch up.
Okay.
So we can watch them together, kind of.
Okay. So so Cliff
watching a couple every night, or
like a couple a day. Yeah.
Okay. I'll catch up to 6 tonight.
Okay. But Cliff does seem to be the most well-grounded character so far. What little we've seen, I'll say this: that they do get right is that Norm, is fixated on his seat. This is a weird thing to me, where people want to sit in the same seat every time they're in a bar.
Mhm.
I know we're creatures of habit, but it's okay. You'll live if you sit at the other end of the bar once in a while. It's a little weird, but
No,
it
I
happens.
like the idea of like, I'd like to have a local where you have your kind of your chair. I like that.
Your own chair?
Yeah, like your own spot. I like that.
Well, I
Like
know
I'm
a
like that.
guy.
Once I found a spot I like, whenever I go somewhere,
Uh-huh.
I probably try to seek it out every
But
time.
here's the problem with the seat, right? If the seat's not available, don't try and force the person out of the seat.
Does he ever
And
do that? I don't even know.
no, well, no, I haven't seen Norm do that, but I've seen real life people do that.
Oh yeah, that's shitty. Yeah,
Yeah. I
but that's
mean,
not
that's
norm.
what I'm saying. It's like, don't get fixated on the seat. You know, be able to sit someplace else if your seat is occupied.
Hmm.
Uh, there's some sort of anxiety thing going on if you can't do that. But I've seen it. I've seen people who sit and stew when
Hmm.
when somebody is in their seat. I mean,
I,
it's
I would do that. I do
yeah.
that. Yeah,
You would sit and stew.
I would still. Yeah,
All
but
right.
I don't think that ever really comes up throughout the.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they need to park Norm where we know he's going to be because it's a TV show and.
See, that would be the episode I would have written for Cheers, where somebody's sitting in Norm's chair,
Uh-huh.
and Norm is livid,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, hijinks ensue.
Why don't you give yourself an assignment for this week and write that scene?
Write that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. I'll think about it. I gotta give it some more thought. That's a good idea, though.
Yeah.
And I'll zap it to you, and we'll read different characters. Yeah, that would be fun.
Zap it to me. We'll do it. We'll act it
We'll
out next
do a
week.
little collaboration.
Yeah.
You can add to it.
Oh, now you just want me to write it. Okay.
Well, actually, this will be what we put into Chat GPT or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
That thing.
Nope.
We'll have them write it for us. We'll say, write a Cheers like script.
I don't want a Cheers like script. I want a Mike Lisk
Uh-huh.
Cheers script.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm glad you're watching it. I'm excited.
Uh-huh.
Even
This
though
week,
your negative comments are, as we agree, totally
Uh-huh.
fucking ridiculous.
I
So,
think people like when we argue. I mean, people
I don't
like a
think
good
so.
argument. People think,
I don't,
the
I
world
don't
is
think
this thing that's where people aren't going to argue.
so. I don't know.
But people love to argue, and people
I
love to
disagree.
listen to people argue. It's fun.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
You imagine a world where nobody argues anymore?
What a world that would be.
You really think that's a thing that could happen?
Sure.
Is that when we all
Did
get
John
into
Lennon say it? What are we better than John Lennon?
is that when we all get into our what do they call those, like what's the Keanu Reeves movies, Enter the Matrix? And we just lay in this thing with wires attached to our brains.
To quote Mike Lisk, I never saw that.
You never saw Matrix? Okay. What was the reasoning there?
It looks stupid.
Okay.
I don't
Good
know.
enough reason. That's a good enough reason. And you were not wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know how many
understand I'm in the minority.
I watched one or two. I don't think I made it to. I haven't watched the recent ones. They picked it up again. No, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can barely make it through an entire day without somebody making a reference to it.
Uh-huh.
If I even catch it.
Uh-huh.
So I understand I'm in the minority, but yeah, it looks like a stupid fucking movie.
But you've heard enough that it's like people in a bed,
right,
with wires attached to their heads.
I don't know, maybe.
Uh-huh.
I don't think we argue enough. I think I'm too nice.
You think you're too nice?
I've been holding back.
Okay. Well, maybe our dish tonight will be the one. I went for beef with green beans.
I did chicken. I don't know why I always default to chicken,
You always default to chicken.
which I should default to pork when it comes to Chinese.
Yeah.
I don't know why I do chicken,
Uh-huh.
because I have the same issue as always. The chicken's like these little round chicken feet bits. But fine. You got beef?
I got beef thinking, well, this dish is simple enough that my father might be enticed to
Mhm.
have some with it with me. Uh, I made the mistake of getting him soup,
Mhm.
and the soup seemed to be enough for him, and then he turned away the beef with green beans. Um, I mean, have we had a more basic dish than this one? This one seemed
I was
about
gonna
as basic.
say, yeah. Talk about a dish that it's all in the name.
It is all in the name.
Like the current movie Cocaine Bear or the classic Snakes on a Plane. The name says it all. It's
Yeah,
some chicken and some green beans.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, in my case, the gravy was not too heavy, so it was nice.
Mhm.
So you had maybe too many green beans. I don't know.
There were a lot of green beans on mine. Yeah. Which I didn't mind.
This must
I didn't get through them all, but
yeah.
there were a ton.
No, I didn't eat the whole dish either. But
Probably ate more of the green beans than the chicken. That tells you how gross the chicken was.
I think that the ratio of green beans to beef in mine was probably 2 to 1.
Yeah.
It was a
Oh
lot of
yeah,
green
yeah,
beans.
I'd say that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, I like green beans, and I
Yeah.
think this was we haven't really seen a lot of green beans in any of our dishes before.
Well, this is probably the healthiest. Like there wasn't too much sauce on it.
Okay.
Mostly green beans. Yeah, this is probably the healthiest thing we're fucking had.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Um, so yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is. If you like green beans, this is the one for you.
yeah, exactly.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, there's not a lot to say. I mean, the gravy could screw it up if it's not good, but it sounds like your gravy was even less intense than mine.
Yeah. Did you have goop?
No, it was I wouldn't categorize it as goop. It was a light sauce, a light brown
Yeah.
sauce. It
Yeah.
was tasty. It was tasty, you know.
Yeah.
Not overbearing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. I don't know if it's because there were 4 tons of green beans that cut through it all, or yeah, it wasn't too much like I would
Yeah.
normally bitch and scream about.
So, what would you rate
I,
this one? We haven't been
I,
rating our dishes.
yeah,
We've been falling down on that.
I don't know. I mean, it's fine. Like it's it's tricky because it's perfectly fine. It's not something to aspire to or for or think about or care about or
Yeah.
even remotely consider at any point in time. But if it's in your mouth, it's fine. It's like, I don't know. 6, 8 seems insulting, but it's not.
No, I was going to go with 6.
Yeah. Well, you're more insulting. That's
I mean, it was fine, but would I
fine.
ever get it again? Probably not. You
Yeah.
know.
Like, to be honest, if I showed up, there's a table full of different Chinese dishes based on what we've gone through.
Uh,
If I saw this, it would be a relief.
yeah.
But am I ever going to think to order like, oh my God, hurry up, delivery guy with my chicken and green beans? No.
Not a lot to
But
get
you know what I was
excited about.
thinking? Speaking of, maybe that's why I jumped out at you about the number of the shows.
Mhm.
I wonder if to really celebrate Egg Foo Young, we need to make a policy of maybe every episode number that ends with 0, we reset by eating Egg Foo Young, or once a month, or
Listen, at some
some
point,
arrangement where every once in a while we reset with
uh-huh,
our beloved Egg Foo Young
uh-huh,
and be okay. This is why we do this, people.
uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think getting guests to come on and have it for the first time, because I mean, I was just talking to somebody recently. I'm always doing the word of mouth. So I'm plugging
Yep.
the best show. I'm plugging Egg Foo what.
Never ends.
And it turns out, these people were familiar with one of the places I go to. And it was the place where I discovered, to me, my find so far is the shredded pork with Peking sauce.
Mhm.
They never heard of it. Then I told them about the podcast, and they're like, Egg Foo Young? Yeah, I don't know what is that. They had no idea.
Right.
So I'm out there spreading the word for Egg Foo Young, Egg Foo.
Me too.
I am always on the campaign trail, plugging the show. plug in the
I mean,
dish.
At a bare minimum, if you want to be on the guest on the show, you should have to eat egg foo young.
Yeah.
But then I suggest every once in a while we should too. You kind of reset, remember why we're
No, I
here.
get it. You want to eat it every week, which I think at some point maybe we will get there. Yeah. And
I
then,
would, I would like to eat it.
we'll go into ecstasies about how great it was, or
Yeah,
if they screwed it up somehow.
yeah,
And then we'll just do the other crap that we
yeah.
that we spin around it.
I mean, we've done enough with these other dishes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I give it a 6. It was fine.
Yeah. For green bean aficionados only.
Yeah, if you love green beans and find yourself at a Chinese takeaway place, chicken and or don't do chicken, but whatever in green beans. 6-8.
So I came across this thing online. There's always
Mhm.
food stuff going online. You see things.
Other than us?
Yeah, other than us. Yeah, believe it or
Yeah.
not. So I saw this little poll, and it was French fries.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
And it gave nine choices. Who makes the best French fries?
Fast food fries?
Fast food fries.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right.
So I saw that. I was like,
me
oh,
where I itch my glisk.
yeah. So I'm sure Greg will have an opinion on this one. So do you want to write down the choices first so you have them all before you? Or should I just go one by one and you can sort of give me your quick assessment?
Well, let's see. Let me
There's nine choices here. 2 of the places I'm unfamiliar with. I'll mention those first. Maybe you're familiar with them. Steak and Shake. Any of those down by you?
No, I've heard about them forever. I've never really been to one.
Okay. And the other one was Whataburger.
I've never been to Whataburger.
Okay. So we might as well just throw those 2 out, huh?
Yeah, throw those. Yeah, I've never been there.
Yeah. Okay. Now I've been to all these other ones, and I'm assuming chances are you've been to them.
Thank you.
Number 1, Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I hate Chick-fil-A fries. Now, let me caveat this. Yes, if you show up with a chicken sandwich and a side of fries, I will inhale them because I'm a fucking pig. But I wish they had different sides. They are my least favorite fast food. If they're not number, I guess 7 on this list, I'm gonna be shocked. There's waffle fries. They're just fucking worthless. I don't know why they even.
See, I like waffle fries.
Or like an apple slice.
I like waffle fries, but this Chick-fil-A, I've only been there twice, and just really, I don't get the whole thing. I don't get it. The sandwich was fine, nothing spectacular. I've had better.
It's a great sandwich, but and I appreciate them trying to keep it simple with the menu. Fewer choices, but yeah, their sides are dog shit, and these fries stink.
Okay.
I'll be shocked if they're not.
No, there's no winners here. This is just how you would rank them.
Right.
So that's going to the bottom for you.
That's at the bottom.
Okay. McDonald's
classic. I mean, what can you say?
They suck when they get cold.
They suck when they get cold. That's true. I mean, they're classic. They're great. I think they're going to be
salty.
I think they're going to be in the top 3, but I don't see them finishing number 1.
Okay.
But we'll see.
Arby's. The roast beef place.
I don't know if they're the inventor of the curly fry, but they were the first place I know with curly fries, which is a bit of a thrill. But I'll say this. Recently, they introduced a crinkle cut fry.
Okay, yeah, I remember the ads.
And the last few times, I don't know why I'm talking slowly and sexily like I'm Mike Lisk here, but the last few times I've done Arby's, I've made the switch from the normally heroic curly fries to their crinkle cut fries. The problem with curly fries is it depends so much on the batch you happen to get. Sometimes they're nice, big, chunky potatoes with the fried skin, and they're great. Sometimes they're just that greased up, curled, burnt, charred bits at the bottom. There's a ton of that, but there is something Proustian in me when I see curly fries, even to this day, and they're kind of everywhere now. They used to be more of a thrill, like Texas toast still is. If you see it on the menu, like, oh, curly fries were a bit of an exotic treat back in the day. So I'll always have a little thing for them, but I'm going to put their curly fry coupled with their surprisingly delightful crinkle cut fry. I'm going to put that above McDonald's.
Okay.
But I will caveat that, Arby's, if you're listening, knock it off with all this shit that's not roast beef sandwiches. Got to get rid of the fucking turkey, the ham, the open faced olive loaf or whatever. Quit fucking trying with this other shit. Your Arby's, your dead horse roast beef. It's delicious. It's fantastic. It's delightful. We love it. Quit trying to make me get a fucking open faced turkey sandwich. Don't make me regret me loving on your fries here, Arby's. And I know you're listening. You too, Whitney Cummings.
Wendy's.
I am loving this, Mike Liss.
Wendy's.
Oh, Wendy's is another nondescript. They're fine. They're thicker than McDonald's. They're fine.
They tend to wilt, though, don't they?
Yes, good
There's
one.
some wilting going on there.
They wilt. They're not crispy. They're like getting a actual potato, which if you're a kid, you don't want a fucking potato from these places. They're fine. I'll put them above Chick-fil-A. They're fine and I'll eat them, but there's a reason. But at least Wendy's, unlike Chick-fil-A, they do have great others, like their chili, their baked potato. They do have, you can get there with not having fries.
Every time.
Cheese on your baked potato.
Uh-huh.
But the fries are just fine. They're nothing special.
Every time
I love Wendy's. I don't want to talk shit on Wendy's. So
okay. Well, the thing I've heard about Wendy's is never order the chili because it sits there for a long time.
Well, you just like say that about every fast food. Don't order the chili. I mean,
yeah. And Quick Check is the same. I mean, I'm sure
if you took me through there with an infrared light and some goggles, I'd be disgusted. Yes.
Yeah. You want to be disgusted? Just go to your local Quick Check, see what happened at the chili center.
Okay. One of these days, the first Egg Food What field trip is going to be you taking me to this Quick Check place. I'd never heard of this place until this podcast. You've mentioned it 1,000 times.
Well, they're all over up here.
We had one of our guests, Marissa, on. Her being a Jersey, apparently by law, she had to mention Quick Check 50 or 40 times. You Jersey people, this seems to be a Jersey thing that I will need to suck it up and experience.
Okay.
Quick Check. Okay.
All
right. Back to the fries.
Burger King.
God, these are disappointing. Burger King, I can't even picture their fries. They've changed them over the years. You know what? I can't believe I'm doing this. Am I putting them below Chick-fil-A? Why do I say Chick-fil-A? I don't
have a problem with that. I mean, when I go to Burger King, I go onion rings because they're the only ones with the onion rings.
I don't like onion rings. I can't do onion rings.
I don't know I don't even know that there's an onion in there, but I'll get those damn onion rings rather than the fries. Their fries aren't good.
I broke a tooth, so my jaw's not aligned. So if I get an onion ring and bite in, sometimes the onion just pulls out all by itself. So it's like, fuck this.
I don't think that ever happened with a Burger King onion ring. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I don't even know that there's an onion in there.
Yeah, they're so nondescript. At least Chick-fil-A, I know to be angry. Burger King, I just do without the. I got to put Burger King below Chick-fil-A. I can't believe I'm doing this. God, man, these are disappointing.
No, I don't have a problem with that. That makes sense.
Jesus. But I was really hoping to stick it to Chick-fil-A. I don't know why. But
how about Five Guys?
Five Guys are good. Problem with Five Guys is the burger's so good. You kind of wolf that down, and between the peanuts and the burger being so good, the fries are really good, but you kind of, or me anyway, kind of eat a few, and then you're stuffed. I'll put them, but you know what? I actually, now that I'm thinking about them, I would say they're a better cooked version or better version of the Wendy's fry.
Yeah.
right? Kind of the shape is kind of the same-ish. The size, theirs are cooked a little differently. I'm gonna put Five Guys above Wendy's, but mostly if I do go there, I stuff myself with peanuts while I'm waiting for my burger. So, but they're fine. I don't know.
You actually eat the peanuts in there?
Love them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
I've never seen anybody eating peanuts in my Five Guys. I see the shells on the floor. I see the evidence.
Mhm.
Not even a lot of evidence.
You think they pay a kid to come in the mornings and throw peanut shells around?
I don't know what they do.
I love those. They're great.
What do you just like get a handful? I mean, you got that
Now,
burger coming. That burger coming is just gonna like pound you.
I mean, I can't believe that they can survive with those peanuts in a peanut-free world with, I mean, the amount of revenue
Uh-huh.
that fuck themselves from not having kids be able to come in. I mean, they must be making crazy money to be able to say, fuck it, we're keeping the peanuts,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
'Cause every kid can't do, it's all the peanut allergies. I'd love to see somebody show up with a number of dollars they've left on the table because of those fucking peanuts.
Uh,
Which I love, but so Five Guys must be crushing it. So
where are you putting Five Guys?
I'm gonna put them above Wendy's because I hate to say mean things about Wendy's, but I think they're just a better version than the Wendy's fry. It's like if you took a Wendy's fry and cooked it again, fried it again a little more, maybe. I'm putting it below Arby's and McDonald's and above Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, and Burger King.
Now the last one is Checkers.
Checkers, I've only been is that a crinkle cut fry?
It's a seasoned fry. I don't know if it qualifies as a Cajun fry.
Sounds
It's seasoned.
I
like them. I like them a lot.
Sounds like a Cajun fry. I don't really know if I can't really rank that.
No, okay.
I don't really know the Checkers fries.
They're good. They're good.
Out of the 9, I've only known 6. What's your ranking? Did you keep track of?
I put Five Guys at number 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, fresh potatoes. They cut them there, and they're not
They are
frozen.
fresh.
All the other ones are frozen, right?
You're right. You know
Um,
what, Mike Lisk, you are making me think. I think almost purely based on that they are made there, I might put them above McDonald's.
of course,
You have made a good case, Atticus.
of course. You get one order of fries at Five Guys to feed 4 people. They just throw them all in there. You're getting lots of overflow, and the bag is full.
Yeah. All right. When you get the answer you want, hang up the phone, Mike. I still got boy. I would not have guessed Arby's would be sitting at the top when this started. What's your least favorite?
You made a good case for the curly fry. I mean, I used to have an Arby's near me. It's gone. I kind of miss it a little bit. And when I first got those curly fries, I said, nice, a nice little variation. Yes. So I like them, but you need to check out Checkers. I would say Checkers is number 2 for me.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So Five Guys, Checkers, Arby's for me.
Okay.
Top 3.
Then a variation of Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, and Burger King.
Well, I mean, I might as well just go down. I'll finish it. Yeah. I mean, I'll say after Checkers, I'll go with Chick-fil-A's. I like a waffle fry. So I like variation. So that now we're down to the bottom 3, which is your McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King, and I'll go with Wendy's over McDonald's.
All right.
Especially when you're gonna eat them fast.
I'm not shitting on Wendy's at all.
Yeah. So then it's Wendy's, McDonald's, Burger King.
All right. Hey, we agreed on the last one.
Yeah.
Boy, McDonald's second from the bottom. That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm curious about these Whataburgers and Steak and Shake joints, though.
Steak and Shake. I know I've been to one over the years. I can't believe they're still around. Aren't they old? Like,
I have no idea. That name meant nothing to me. I figured they're like in the Southwest someplace I'm not familiar with.
I know I've been to one. but I can't picture the fries at all.
Uh-huh.
Whataburger. Whataburger is one of those that just anytime I see a list of cheeseburgers that are the best in the world or whatever, that's always pops up.
Really? Yeah.
I'm curious. I've never seen. I don't know if they're around here.
Uh,
Uh,
I've never seen one.
I don't know about their fries, but their burgers always on the list.
Hmm.
So I like that. I like that list, Mike list.
Okay. I'm not done with you yet.
All right.
This is like a quiz show. This is our quiz show. Just one quiz after another for you, Greg. I was reading an article about a book that recently came out. It's called Dinner with the President.
Oh.
And it's basically talking about what presidents served at mostly state dinners. They'd have these lavish affairs, and talks about what sort of meals were served, what sort of food, but also, I guess what personal favorites of different presidents.
Yeah.
So in this quiz, I'll throw out a dish, and you'll guess. Maybe it's going to be hard. This isn't going to be easy. But
I think
maybe you're a student of history, particularly I know American history. So maybe maybe you've come across these things. Okay. So the first item is possum dip.
Andrew Jackson.
Interesting. Nope. Do you want to take a second guess? I don't want to torture the listeners with multiple guesses, but any other guesses? I'll say yeah, I can't really say you're warm there, but
you want to give a hint?
Give you a hint. Well,
actually, that's not fair. It's based on food. I got that one wrong, but I think it's a good guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think your reasoning was maybe a southern dish. Is that what the
picture Andrew Jackson walking around a road, grabbing a raccoon and tearing its head off and eating it?
But this is a possum.
They're both disgusting.
No, it was Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, all right.
You liked a good possum dip. Who knew, right?
Now we know.
Here's one that's maybe the most surprising. It just kind of shocked me. One of our presidents was fond of squirrel meat.
If it's surprising, then maybe it's not a super early president.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, that's what's surprising about it. It's
yeah.
I would say it's a relatively modern president.
I'm gonna say, and this is gonna be a surprise, and I want to thank you for doing this on George Washington's birthday, Michaelis. That's very thoughtful of you.
We only missed by a couple of days.
Today's his real birth. It's 22nd.
Oh, it is? Oh, okay. All right.
Go by that Lame Street.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah,
the President's Day is.
I've gotten away from the actual dates. Yes, you're right. Thanks for pointing that out.
You're welcome. I'm going to say, because this kind of belies how our image of him, Woodrow Wilson, because he is from Virginia, and
you got that right. Yes.
And Brunswick stew came out of Southwest Virginia, and what makes Brunswick stew legit Brunswick stew is squirrel meat. So tell me that I'm right, Michaelis.
I like your reasoning. You're making very educated guesses. You're not just.
You didn't have to say.
The wheels are spinning. I can hear them.
Wheels are creaking.
But I'm going to surprise you again.
Oh.
Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Eisenhower. Okay.
Eisenhower liked squirrel meat.
Well, he was in the war.
Yeah. Was the attrition that bad that they had to capture squirrels? Who knows? But
the 90s were a crazy time, bro.
All right. Here's one for you. This president savored a buffalo tongue appetizer.
Okay. Got to be Teddy Roosevelt. He loved wrestling buffalo to the ground with his bare hands.
You are close.
Ah,
My next hint was going to be there is a city.
Jesus, that was some suspense. There was
No, no. I was going to say he's from a state. Well, no, it would have been too easy.
from a state.
No, no, no. Sorry. But yeah, my hint would have been bad. It's FDR.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I was just talking about wheelchairs earlier.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Wow,
All these things are interrelated.
that is interesting because he's so erudite and fancy.
Yeah. You didn't see that one coming, right?
I did not see that one.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, when you hear buffalo and presidents, you think of it.
well, now this one you'll get.
All right. Jelly beans.
Toasted slices of elephant's heart.
Teddy Roosevelt?
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I cheated on that one.
If we had that first, you would have done better on the other one.
I would have guessed Teddy for this. Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, what crazy shit these fuckers are eating.
Yeah, it is bizarre, right?
I mean, I know it's great. You show up great. I'm having dinner with the president, but then you look down, and like, Jesus, can we get some fucking Burger King fries, cold Burger King fries up in here? That would be the only reason Trump would ever be listed as the best president, and he would be the best president to eat dinner with, because he'd be like, I don't know, Taco Bell. You want to do Taco Bell? Great. You don't have to worry about this weird shit showing up at the table. I panic when I have to go to a friend's house and like their mother is serving us something. I'm like, I panic that's going to be too fancy, crazy for me. I show up and there's buffalo wombat tongue anus or something soup. With Trump, you're getting fucking McDonald's.
Well, yeah, this book talks about Trump. I'm not going to. I didn't include him in our poll here, but what they said about him, and I don't know if it's BS, but they said that he was not a state dinner guy at all, and he only threw 2 in his 4 years. No, he didn't make a big show of the menu.
Yeah.
So he was, I guess, just
They made a big thing about like when the Clemson national championship team showed up, he gave them all fast food.
Yeah, that one made the headlines. Yeah.
But
I don't know if that was considered a state dinner though.
I want to be on the record as saying something nice about Trump. If I had to pick a president to eat dinner with, in which he picks the food, I would have to say Trump, because he would just pick child garbage like Dino Nuggets. So okay, that felt good.
Well, the next one is I thought of you as a timid, picky eater.
Sounds sexy.
Clear soup, chicken salad, strawberry ice cream were favorites. But this might be the giveaway. He was also very fond of country hams, peach cobblers, butter and buttermilk, fresh eggs, hot biscuits, homemade ice cream, plain wet cake.
Boy, that plain white cake. I'm gonna flip this table over because I feel like I've read something somewhere about somebody liking plain white cake. This is gonna piss me off. At first, I was gonna say Coolidge, because that first thing you said, like what, plain broth or something, was it? Plain.
Well, he was just a
plain broth. So you think, oh, Coolidge,
clear soup, yeah,
clear soup. But then you started moving to Smithfield Ham, Virginia territory. But then I feel like you took a trip down south to Georgia. And Jimmy Carter is very much in their hearts and minds these days. But there's something about that white cake I'm flipping this fucking table over and you tell me the answer, Michael. I'm telling you. I'll officially say Jimmy Carter.
Your reasoning was on point. I'll tell you that. Your reasoning is on point.
Yep.
Your reasoning is on point.
Thank you.
If
I could get paid for reasoning, which I guess you could.
Want to hazard a guess?
No, I mean, I'd landed on Jimmy Carter. I don't know.
Okay, you got the table ready?
Yeah.
Woodrow Wilson.
Fuck. I don't know why this
You were right around it. You were right around it.
Yeah. I don't know why that cake thing is
Yeah.
so stuck in my head. That's
Uh,
gonna drive me nuts. Damn.
if I said he was a flat out racist, would you have known what I was talking about?
Well, he's not the first one I would have thought of. But I just said something nice about Trump, so I'm gonna keep it there. Um, fuck, I want to get one of these right. Come
Well,
on. One more.
this one might
One
do
more.
it. I mean, this one you might. I have a feeling you're going to get this one.
Cigars.
Just listen to some. I don't. I'm probably going to mispronounce half of these.
Okay.
So
Oh, that's right.
help
Is it
me.
Obama? Come
Help
on,
me
Mom.
with my French. Soleil mousse,
Is this
filet
Kennedy?
of beef, Montfermeil,
That's Jackie Kennedy.
pheasant press galantine.
You sound like an idiot. Stop trying to speak French.
Yes.
You sound stupid, Mike.
I'm a
yourself
rube.
if
I'm
you
a
were on
rube.
Cheers.
I've never eaten food like this.
If you were on Cheers, you would hate
I'm a
yourself.
rube. I'm a rube.
Had to be JFK.
Yeah, you got him.
Nice. Well, the famous story is always the Queen or whatever came over during the war, or the King, and FDR served them hot dogs. That's, you always hear that story. I don't know. The King and Queen came over. But anyway.
Yeah, I think I've heard that one.
Hey, I had good reasoning for all these, even if I.
Yeah, no, you're like I said, I could hear the wheels creaking. This one's a little, yeah. Some of these things are just like, well, they're just odd.
Yeah.
What first president and first lady enjoyed copious amounts of cottage cheese?
That sounds like Jimmy Carter. Did I get it right?
No, Richard Nixon. Pat.
I think I knew that. Damn it.
This one's another easy one. I think you'll get it.
Another easy one.
Well, the JFK, I didn't even finish my whole list here. Thank you for sparing me some more mispronounced words. How about barbecued chili and beer?
LBJ.
Yeah, you got it.
Yes. Suck on that one, Mike List.
Roasted possum, and this is a hint. A haunch of venison. A haunch.
A haunch of venison.
So that's a large portion. Large being the hint.
Taft?
Yeah.
Nice. I like the way you say haunch. A haunch.
And then, of course,
say that in casual conversation.
Of course, which president was most famous for? I do not like broccoli.
The old man, 41.
Yeah.
Is that how he said
it? That's how I hear it. How can you hate broccoli? Come on. That's just like taking your childish fanaticism into adulthood.
I think it's understandable to hate broccoli. It's weird. It's chunky. It's texture. It's like 3 different textures. My nephew loves broccoli.
You don't love broccoli?
Who loves broccoli?
I do. I love broccoli.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I
was late to it. I mean, my mother didn't really serve it much. You know, it wasn't something that we got as kids. Yeah. So I had to seek it out as an adult. And then, once I had the various, you get steamed broccoli. It's nice and soft. It's not hard to,
maybe I eat it wrong. Are you supposed to eat the whole thing or just the stem? Or...
Yeah, everything. Okay. You can cut it up. You can cut it into portions. I mean, if it makes it easier. Sometimes, it's presented to you and it's a large clump. So yeah, you gotta cut it down, to make it.
I've never heard anybody wax so poetically about broccoli. I thought when it came to broccoli, much like life itself, we were all just getting through it.
No, big fan.
I didn't know people were fucking so excited about broccoli.
Well, that's why I was so disappointed when you just tore into my one of my favorite Chinese items is the broccoli with garlic sauce.
Oh God, that was brutal.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, I'm seeing a little detail that to tie it all into the show. I mean, it was a detail that I didn't get to on the previous quiz. Which president of all the ones we just went through was also a fan of poo-poo platters?
Has to be someone. Has to be either LBJ, Nixon. Well, I guess they're Eisenhower. Poo-poo platter. Is it Nixon because he went to China?
You got it, sir.
Yes.
I don't know if that was the reason, though, to tell you the truth. They don't say, that he came back and he had a fondness for because I don't even know. I think that's Chinese. That's Chinese. That's an American Chinese dish. I don't even know if that's an authentic Chinese dish.
Okay.
But your reasoning worked out for you there.
That's it.
That was nice.
That's it.
Yeah. Did you get a fortune cookie?
Of course not.
No.
I think the last one I got was in Richmond. I should. Why do I admit? Why don't I just? Why aren't I just making one up every week? Why am I just saying to you?
You could do that. You could do that.
Why am I not lying? What is wrong with me?
Trying to make it part of the end of the show. What do I got here? Do a good deed anonymously. You will make a difference in your life.
That's not a fortune. That's just some random asshole telling you to do shit.
Yeah. It's not, well, yeah, it's telling me what to do rather than what may happen in the future for me.
I think one of our super fans should put together all of our fortunes and make, I don't know, t-shirt or something. A blanket, a quilt.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I guess we can talk about merch. I mean, you think our logo would make a nice t-shirt on what color shirt would that be best on?
Whatever people want to buy. Whatever gets those shekels flowing.
Because I know somebody who I could probably contact about making shirts. And
is it shirts.com?
No.
You know that guy?
No, I don't know shirts.com. No.
Well, maybe you should do one of your famous polls to see if people want to buy shit from us.
Yeah, that's it. That's an idea.
I mean, they didn't go for my write the theme song thing. So
I did well with t-shirts before. I've had some merchandise in the past. I've done a t-shirt. I've done a calendar.
All right, enough of the bragging, Mike.
The calendar went over very well. That was fun. But
we should do a Greg and Mike calendar, like an old fireman's calendar.
Oh no, please. No. Come on. We don't want to scare people off.
You're not gonna live another 20 years. What do you care?
Yeah, I don't want to scare anybody on the way out.
But you'll put up a poll and we'll see what the flavor is.
Okay, we'll look into it.
Cool.
Okay, well, I want to thank everybody for listening. This was a well-planned episode for that one critic who's out there saying,
what is it with you and this one critic?
Because
we can't curse because
he can't be more wrong. He's accusing us of just winging it. We don't know what we're talking about.
Jesus, you gotta let that guy go, Mike.
You listen to 99% of the podcasts out there. Nobody's planning that thing. I mean, it's like
we get you in a room with whoever said this to you. I mean, jeez.
Anyway.
Yeah, like and subscribe or whatever Mike always says. Look out for that poll, and we'll see everybody next week.
Take care.